Are there any changes that you would like to see in the dubbing industry?
Yeah.
Well, I would like us to get paid better, for sure.
Video gives us a chance to be heard, a stage to be seen. It accumulates more than 7.5 million subscribers and more than 5 billion views on YouTube.
Hi, everyone. This is Unify podcast by Unilingo. This is Farbod and Adriana, your hosts. And today we are very excited to introduce to you Beto Castillo. Thank you for being with us, Beto. You're one of the greatest talents in dubbing in Mexico and Latin America.
That's so generous, and it's so not true. But I'm very, very thrilled and very thankful that you consider me that way. So thank you for having me here, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm here ready to talk.
Hey, let's give it up for Beto.
So Beto,
Yes.
can you tell us, how did you become a dubbing talent? Like, was there a turning point in your life that made you choose to be a dubbing actor?
Yeah, unlike most of my or many of my fellow companions that do this kind of activity, I was not aiming to be a dubbing actor. I was just a performing actor. I was doing many musicals in Mexico and singing backup vocals for different artists such as Juan Gabriel and Cristian Castro and other big celebrities and names in Latin America. So I was doing Rent, the Broadway production in Mexico that Ocesa produced. And then one Sunday afternoon after the second show, somebody came up to my dressing room and they gave me a card that had a message that said that they enjoyed a lot my performance, that they liked my voice, and that they wanted to test me and to make a voice casting for a project. And when I turned the card, I saw that it had the Disney logo. So I was very excited because I didn't know that person. And I called them on Monday, and then they told me that they wanted me to try out for a song for the new Toy Story movie, for Toy Story 2, the second part. And they wanted me to perform You've Got a Friend in Me in Spanish. So I went on Tuesday, I did the casting. Then on Wednesday, they told me that I had been chosen. And on Thursday, I was recording the song. And that's how I started doing this beautiful part of my job. And it became one of the most important things that I'm doing currently. First, I was only doing songs. And then after 3 or 4 years, somebody invited me to do dubbing as an actor, not as a singer. And then I loved it. I did it so bad, so bad. And I loved it. And I started developing so much respect for this new way of acting for me, because I had already won awards as an actor in theater, but it was very different to perform in front of a microphone and not moving my arms and not being able to use a costume or to focus on the scenery or the lights. Just acting with your voice was very new for me.
Right.
So I had to learn to do it. And then I stopped doing dubbing and voiceovers for 3 years until I felt that I was ready to start doing this job again. And then I started working, and thus it's been 22 years since then.
Wow, congratulations for those 22 years.
Gracias, thank you.
This sounds like a bit of a Squid Game where you were handed a card and that single card led you on a completely different path.
That's so true. And I'm so thankful because that card and the person that gave me the card, whose name is Gabriela Cárdenas, one of the most important musical directors in Mexico. She has directed me so many times and opened so many doors for me, not only in the dubbing world and industry, but also in TV and other projects, such as La Academia, this reality show in Mexico City, which is the most important singing contest in Latin America, where she opened the door for me to go being a teacher and a voice director there as well. So I'm ever thankful to Gabriela Cárdenas, my very good friend now.
Little shout out to her.
Yes.
Gotta ask you about your your experience working with different platforms, streaming platforms. Which platform do you like the best as a medium, and why is that?
The budgets vary a lot depending on the platform. And one thing that I always tell them is that if you're gonna nominate your movies to the Oscars, then you have to pay for those projects as if they were going to be shown in theaters as any other regular film. because sometimes they try to have to pay less because it's going to be shown on media on this kind of streaming platforms, as if that was not more seen even now than a regular movie in theaters. So yeah, it's been a learning process for everybody, but it's always amazing, and I'm so thankful for the different clients that enjoy my work and that trust my work to direct other people as well.
Yeah, it's as we chat, I'm realizing the uniqueness in your voice, a voice that if we ran into each other at the grocery store, and if you're not a voice actor, I would say, Beto, have you thought about becoming a voice actor?
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think it's because I'm a singer even before I started acting. So the technique for breathing and breath support and voice and the diaphragm and all that, things involved in the voice production sound system, and your vocal folds and all that, it's something I've been working on since I was very, very young. So I think that's why you could consider that my voice is trained, that my voice is I would say, I think it's a good instrument, and I'm very thankful for it, and I take very good care of it, and I'm very grateful for being able to do what I love doing the most.
Is there a certain type of food that you need to avoid eating or having in order not to affect your voice?
I just suggest that people have to drink a lot of water, regardless of their diet, because if you eat good food, which would be good for your body, even with that kind of diet, you need to drink lots of water. And if you don't eat good food and you drink lots of coffee or hot sauce and all these things that are very spicy, you need to drink water as well. So just keep hydrated, and that'll do the trick.
Yeah, stay hydrated, kids.
Yes.
So your story about how you got into Toy Story is really, it's actually a beautiful story. And well, for somebody like me that grew up during the days where Toy Story was a big thing, it's like such a special story to hear, you know. So, and we'd like to hear about how were you chosen for Luke Skywalker, as it is something that we're sure many people are going to feel touched by.
Yes, this was a very sweet and sour moment. I got a phone call from the studio that they wanted me to go to a casting for a project that had to do with Star Wars. So I was very excited since I got the call. When I got there, my director, which was Hector Emanuel, a very good friend of mine and an amazing performer and director, he told me that I was going to be making a casting for the character of Luke Skywalker. When he said that, first I got very excited because it had been many movies since we hadn't seen Luke Skywalker on film, the character. And as you know, there's so many planets and galaxies and different worlds and different characters and different aliens and humans that appear on those sagas, that when I got the call at first, I never thought that it would be for a character that we had already seen, but for a new character. That's what I thought at first. When he told me about Luke Skywalker, I got very excited, because who doesn't love those characters from the first era of Star Wars? Right. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, R2-D2, C-3PO, all those characters that we fell in love with and that I grew with. So I was very excited for that. But then a few seconds after that, happiness got into my heart. I started questioning myself why they were going to cast me for a role that had been already played by another actor. And that's when I got when I realized that Jesus Barrero, which was the actor that used to play that character, had passed away.
Oh, okay.
He was, and he still is, one of the best voice actors, and I say it in present, like he still is, because his work is still recorded and we can still enjoy it.
Right.
So when he passed away, and then the character returned, of course there was no way for him to keep on playing that character. So they had to cast a new actor for that character, for that role. And many other many other people went to do that casting for that role, and then they let me know that I had been chosen. I remember when I got into the cabin to record this session, this casting, that I closed my eyes, as I always do before I start a casting project, and I offered my work for him, like, this is going to be like a tribute to you for the beautiful legacy that you left, and I hope that I give my heart. I want to put my heart on this test, on this role, and let's see what happens. And then when I got the results and they told me that I had been chosen by the people in the United States, I felt very honored and very humble for that, and very thankful. And when the movie finally opened, and I remember I tweeted, I'm very honored and I'm very happy to be the new voice for Luke Skywalker, and this character is fully an homage, a tribute to the great Jesus Barrero. So I've always honored, or tried to honor, his beautiful work with what I'm able to do with that character. So it's a sweet and sour story, because I'm very thankful for the character, but as well, it got to me because he passed away. So that's not a nice thing at all.
How many episodes and movies have you done as this character?
I did 2, the last 2, and I also did the character for different video games, and from some cartoons as well, and for toy as well. So yeah, my voice is in different places as that character.
Different versions. Oh, can you tell us a little bit of how you arrange yourself and adapt your voice, or what adaptations do you make on yourself when you go on the studio, in your studio, to record the voice of Luke Skywalker?
First of all, you have to look at the character, how he is physically. If he is very tall, if he's short, if he's a large kind of body, or if he's a small character, his face, his teeth, the size of his nose, all these different features that would make the instrument of that body sound different. Like, if you have a very big nose, probably the character is going to be up more in your nose, and it's going to be a little more nasal sounding,
Right.
because it's such a big feature that he will probably start talking like this, or that I would imagine that his voice would be a little more higher in this range, in this area. But if he's like very tall, very big, very muscular, or a giant, or very powerful, or even if he's an evil character, then I start using my voice in my lower register, because I think that's what gives them more personality, that makes them feel more interesting, more chest kind of voice, more this kind of thicker voice. If it's a smaller character and it's a funny character, then I start using this kind of sound. So it's different because he's small, and it sounds it's very funny, and it's very tiny. So that's the first thing that I consider. Of course, Luke Skywalker, I've known that character even before I played it. So
Right.
you kind of have this legacy of how he is supposed to act, to sound, and all this "May the Force be with you" sound and phrases that are that give me the chills every time that I say it, and that we listen to that powerful phrase. You have to know that he has to be kind of like a very Zen kind of person, a very kind of even almost like a monk, very kind of this Tibet kind of feeling, very spiritual being,
And centered.
very centered, exactly, and very powerful as well. So he has to go into my lower range, not as deep as I can do in other characters, but more kind of like my regular speaking voice. But I also give him a little more age, because he's older than me. So I start going a little back into my throat, so I can start talking a little bit more like a tired voice, a tiring sound. So I start going into a very soft voice and talking like this, so I can say, "May the Force be with you." And then
Great.
that's how I create the sound.
So
yeah, we just wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
like, if you would honor us by doing a little piece of your work as Luke Skywalker.
yeah, we don't
but-
want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, but like, if you would like to, we'd be so
Yeah,
happy
sure.
to hear
Yeah.
you.
yeah, the
I can
viewers
give you
would
some
love it.
phrases like, "La rebelión está comenzando. El último Jedi no voy a ser yo. El destino de un Jedi es confrontar sus miedos. Que la fuerza te acompañe." That would be
That's great.
some of the
Like
most interesting things.
it's amazing
Yeah,
to
no, I
hear
got
you
Gracias, gracias.
and
Thank you.
to realize that you have such a great technique and such a great work behind. I mean, real consistent and technical work. It's like something it's appreciated. And something we'd like to ask you, like you being a real prepared dubbing actor, are there any changes that you would like to see in the dubbing industry?
Yeah.
Well, I would like us to get paid better for sure.
Yeah.
because
So,
because I mean that's a reality that this is a job, you know. We are working, and it takes talent, it takes time, it takes work, it takes practice, it takes a lot of things as any other regular job. You have, if you want to be good at something, you have to practice, and you have to do it many times and for many years to become an expert in whatever thing you want
Right.
to do. So I think that the expertise, sometimes it's not very well regarded in this kind of industry. They don't offer better payments. It's a very low salary. Like we
Right.
have seen, we just saw that in Argentina, the people that do the same kind of job that we do here, the voice actors, were on a strike because they were really demanding for better payments. And I think that that should be done, especially because when they hire this so-called star talents, which I'm always kind of not very keen of that terminology, because for me the true star talents are the legacies, the people that are working, like Carlos II, like Mario Filio, like Jose Luis Orozco, like Laura Torres, like Ricardo Tejedo, like all these legends that like Jesus Barrero, like all these beautiful people. I would never stop naming them, but all the people that do this kind of work, for me, those are the real star talents.
Right.
And the other people are famous people that have many followers, or that have many, you know, that have a movie career or a television career or a singing career, which is amazing, but they are not a part of this industry per se. So when I don't mind that those kind of people, or any kind of people, come in and doing their jobs, their different roles. I think the sun comes out for everybody, so we don't have to be jealous about that. But what I don't appreciate is that when you see and realize how much they are getting paid for what you could do, I wouldn't say better, but that you could also do it. And when you see the enormous difference in payment that there is, then that's when you realize that there is budget for this kind of projects. There is money for this kind of projects. They just don't want to give it to the performing actors that regularly do it. So so that I would change that, because I think that people, especially in cartoons or in animated films, people don't go to the movie theaters because of the person that that acts or performs as the voice actor for those cartoons or for those animations. They will go because it's a family movie, because it's going to be a nice story, it's going to be nice music. Like if you go to a Disney movie, you know it's going to be safe for your kids to see it, it's going to be a beautiful story, it's going to be nice animation, it's going to be happy. But you don't go to see that movie because me or any other famous person did the voice for a specific character. You're going to go there because your kids can see that movie. Right. So I think that the difference in budgets for those kind of payments should be very different.
Yeah, we totally agree.
Yeah, so star talent, or they're being hired because they have an existing following, they have an influence. If their voice is hired for the movie, they get to go on social media and say, hey, I was the voice of Kevin Hart does a character for animation movie. He gets to go there and go on social media platforms, say I was the voice. And the voice actors and actresses can do a better job than he does. In voice act, I would say that it's different to be a voice actor than to be an on-screen actor.
It is even in the fact that we are not even allowed many times to say that we are the voice of a character. And then you see them like even having their recording session being recorded and then shown to everybody else, which is like, where's the confidentiality thing? Where's all these things that we have to sign and to be almost threatened by not being able to say anything about a project, not taking a picture, not being able to keep the memory of your own work, of your job, of what you are doing as a regular day thing. And then these people, they have cameras, and then they have interviews, and then they can do the voices of the different characters and have pictures with the characters. So I just think that the industry should be a little more
balanced,
not balanced for everybody, more the same for everybody. Like, I'm very happy when I see people and I've directed many of them, this so-called star talents, and it's always nice to work with them when they come with a good attitude, when they want to learn. It's always nice. It's always good to work with different people, but it's not fair, the amount of money they get paid versus the amount of money that a Mario Castañeda or Lalo Garza or all these beautiful people that are amazing talents don't get paid for the same kind of job that, as you said, they could be doing much better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
tell us what you have going on in your life, and if you want to shout out any upcoming projects.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's been such a good and a nice honor to be here talking with you about what I love doing the most. You can go into my website, which is betocastillo.com, betocastillo.com. That's where I have my online school. I teach singing courses there, musical dubbing courses as well. And there's Arturo Mercado, which is another legacy, great, amazing actor that gives courses in my school. Carlos Segundo, other people that are there teaching dubbing. If you're interested in that, go to betocastillo.com. And I just finished La Academia, which is this TV show, and I'm working in different musical projects as well that you will find out very, very soon. So lots of things coming around, and keeping myself busy. I'm thankful.
Thank you, Beto. It was amazing to have you here. It was almost like a class, like a master class here. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to enjoy this. This is Unify Podcast by Unilingo. This was Farbad and Adriana.
Thank you.